Hello everyone, my name is Prism, and welcome back to another episode of my Bluthathon, the series where I am watching every single works of the man named Don Bluth, all of his short features and his animated feature films from outside his time at the Disney studio, starting with 1979 short Banjo the Woodpile Cat, all the way to the 2000s Titan A.E. And today we're going to be taking a look at a story about immigration, a story about a little boy and his journey to America, specifically a little mouse. Today, we're going to be looking at 1986's An American Tail. And I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on the film and giving my overall opinion of it. Now, I'd actually not seen this film all the way through, at least not that I could remember, and so it was kind of my first time doing so. Did I have high expectations? I sort of did, and I'm going to be honest, they weren't fully met. So let's get into it. The story of An American Tail tells the story of Fievel, Mousewitz. He is the son of the Mousewitz family, and he and his family are setting forth to America. They want to be free of Russia. They want to be free of the cats that tear apart their lives. The mice, the Mousewitz, are obviously a stand-in for Jewish immigrants, as Steven Spielberg was actually a Jewish immigrant, and you can very clearly tell that there was some of his heritage put into the story. But along the journey to America, Fievel gets stranded in the middle of the sea through a collection of circumstances. And so Fievel is lost in the big city of New York and is trying to find his way home to his family. And that is kind of where our story takes us, to New York City. And the whole film is about Fievel trying to get back to his family. And while this is an engaging premise, as you do care about Fievel and you do want him to get home, it sort of doesn't work, in my honest opinion. While I think An American Tail does a lot of things right in creating, a fun kids film and having likable characters and trying to have a positive message or something that's more meaningful than just characters wanting to move, I don't think the journey of Fievel really is that entertaining or engaging. I think for kids it's great, but for me as an adult, I don't feel the sense of epicness or scale that The Secret of NIMH had. I feel like An American Tail is kind of just a nothing film. Like, okay, how do I put this? It feels way too episodic. When I watch a movie, I don't mind it, going to different places. I don't mind if you start your film on Earth and then you go to Mars for half an hour and then you go to Jupiter for the next 45 minutes. I do mind if I feel like you keep doing this over and over and you keep making those durations way too short. And that is exactly the problem I have with An American Tail. The film starts with Fievel and his family wanting to leave, go to America. They go to America, Fievel's stranded, and then it's just a number of circumstances where Fievel's in trouble and he's trying to get home. And none of these circumstances really last more than 5 minutes long. You have him getting tangled up with Warren T. Rat, a con man who is secretly a cat, revealed in the third act. Well, that's not an issue because he's then thrown into slavery. And then that night he wants to get out, so he uses bed sheets, climbs out the window. And then he's traveling. And then he finds, this other mouse, and they become best friends. He found them when they were stuck at the, working place. And then there's this whole rally. The mice are trying to rally against the cats. I don't know why Don Bluth was so obsessed with mice, but whatever. Then we go from that to, them rallying. And we have Fievel getting tangled up under the ground with another cat. His name is Tiger, who actually doesn't eat mice. He's a vegetarian. And then, of course, we have the climactic battle where the rats are going against the cats. Warren T. Rat is revealed to be a cat. And then it's, oh no, we gotta get Fievel home. Oh wait, there's a huge fire at the place. Oh no, Fievel's in trouble. Okay, he found his way home. Okay, then we're gonna have a scene of them flying around New York City, seeing the Statue of Liberty. And then this other moment, and then the end. And at the end of it, I feel kind of just nothing. I don't feel anything. I feel like I've seen a lot of locations, and I feel like a lot of things have been said, a lot of words were written, but I don't feel the journey. I don't really feel like anything has substance. I don't really feel like anything really means much. What means the most is Fievel getting back to his family, and it almost feels like a greatest hits of what will he run into. You know what it actually feels like? And this is going to sound really mean, but Alice in Wonderland, but there's actual purpose to it. And all the locations kind of make sense. To be clear, I don't think there's any bad section in An American Tail. I think the worst section would probably have to be, for me, the Solid Duo and the actual fight against the cats, which does not feel like Don Bluth. It feels like another animator making this. Because Don Bluth would probably do something way more epic and grand, yet this feels so kiddish. Really? They're just gonna shoot off fireworks at the cats and they're all gonna get drowned in the bottom of the ocean or whatever? Like, okay, this is the same guy who had an epic sword fight in his last film, and who has a very deadly T-Rex fight in his next film, and in the next film, sends a dog to hell in his nightmare. And this is our climactic battle? Like, he's just... Okay, fireworks everywhere. The cats are being beaten by the mice. I don't know. I think part of it might have been that I watched The Secret of NIMH literally last night. It is like January the 19th when I'm recording this. And I watched An American Tail this morning, and I watched The Secret of NIMH on the 18th. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe you're not supposed to watch them back to back. That's probably not a good idea. But I also just feel like it just doesn't have the same weight. I'm not as gripped to the characters as I was in The Secret of NIMH, and I just don't really find the situations that engaging. Like I said, I don't think An American Tail is per se a bad movie. It's well made, it's well produced, it's got a lot of things going for it. But I do feel like it maybe could have used a little bit more darkness, a little bit more complexity. It kind of has a dark opening, and then it just kind of becomes a children's film. I even think that the song A Duo is kind of awful from a writing perspective. I'll Stick With You has better lyrics and a better melody, and yes, we'll find out that Don Bluth isn't the best songwriter, but he didn't actually write this song, which is really interesting. But I just really don't like it that much. It's cute, it's fun for the kids, but it's just not anything that I haven't seen before. Especially when I mentioned Banjo the Woodpile Cat. That is a song about these two characters stuck together, and them sticking together through thick and thin, and of course you don't want to repeat the same song, but actually in my mind I wondered, what if they just did? Like, what if they just played the same song, but obviously had the different voice actor? Yeah. I'm just kind of disappointed with An American Tail, in all honesty. I don't think it's a highlight, for me, of Don Bluth's career, in a way. It's hard, because Don Bluth is never one of those people that has, like, a middle-of-the-road film. It's either great or it's garbage, at least to a lot of people. And I don't feel like An American Tail does anything to even put it in the middle, but for me, it puts it in, like, the middle most boring. Now, I'm a little bit curious to see what I think of The Land Before Time, because I'm not a kid anymore who's like, oh, dinosaurs are cool. But I at least feel like that movie's gonna have that darker edge and that, like, journey of discovery and the Bluthisms to it, where this film just kind of feels way too Spielbergified. This kind of feels like if Steven Spielberg made An American Tail. And how can you tell the difference? Well, I mean, clearly the sense of family. I think clearly that is a Spielberg thing. That all of his films, even when they shouldn't, are tied to a family. But, I don't know. I just didn't love An American Tail. I don't hate anyone who loved it. I respect your opinion. But honestly, for me, I kind of found this film disappointing. Kind of find it a bit overrated. And we'll see what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye for now. Bye, everyone. Next week, we'll be taking a look at The Land Before Time. Alright, so I found this Don Bluth tier list online. And I wanted to, at the end of each of these videos, kind of do a ranking of all of his works. I'm going to be starting this now that we're in the 3rd episode, because really, would it have been that fun in the last 2 when I only had 2 projects? No, we're going to have 3, and then each episode we can add a new project. And I'm not going to bother with the face cam, I'm just going to put stuff in. But we're going to start with his first work that I've seen, Banjo the Woodpile Cat. I'm going to put this in Good Dog category. Yeah, these are kind of all named after dogs for some reason. Clearly this person loves dogs, or maybe it's an all dogs go to heaven thing, but I think that's a fitting spot for it. The Secret of Nim, top dog. An American Tail, I'm gonna put it in indifferent. If I were really mean, I'd put it in bad dog, but also we're not to his bad stuff. And that's all we have so far. We have 3 projects, and I'm very curious to see where all of these fall. I will give you guys a little spoiler. I've seen Land Before Time, I've seen All Dogs Go to Heaven, Thumbelina, Anastasia, and that is all I've seen of him. Also, he didn't make All Dogs Go to Heaven 2, but maybe for fun I'll throw it in here because I do love the movie. And that does kind of give you a spoiler as to one of the episodes. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. We'll take a look back at this soon, and see you next time.